Hey everyone, welcome to Adventures in Everyday Cooking, where every day can be an adventure in your kitchen. My name is Heather, and today we're making no fuss chicken cordon bleu. I know, sounds like an oxymoron, right? It's not. Well, it is, because chicken cordon bleu by design is very fussy. You have to pound your chicken breast, you have to fill it, you have to roll it, you have to bread it, it's fussy. It's so good, but it's fussy. However, this recipe, and it is one of my very own recipes, is amazing. You don't have to do any of that stuff. And it uses almost all pantry staple ingredients. The only one that you're probably gonna have to buy at the supermarket is the Swiss cheese, because a lot of families don't keep the Swiss. However, if you're not a fan of Swiss cheese, I don't know why you wouldn't be. But if you're not, just use a different kind of cheese. It will probably be fine. I can't attest to that, but just use Swiss. It's gonna be amazing. So, are you ready for this adventure? It's gonna be great. And you'll see that this is really no fuss. You ready for this? Let's get started. All right, what you're gonna need is 6 to 8 chicken thighs, or equal amounts of chicken breasts, cut into half. 2 cups of sliced carrots, 2 cans of cream of chicken, 1 cup of sour cream, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 1 1/2 cups of Swiss cheese, shredded, or you can do thinly sliced as well, 1/3 cup of ham sliced into strips, 1 cup of flour plus 1 more teaspoon of paprika, 2 eggs, 1 cup of breadcrumbs, and egg noodles for serving. All right, the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is go ahead and get your oven preheated to 375, right? Yes, to 375. Next, we're gonna go ahead and mix the sauce up. So what I have here is 2 cans of cream of chicken. If you are using your cream of anything soup, you just need to follow the directions to make it cream of chicken by adding chicken and some chicken stock to your mix whenever you make it. But I just use the canned kind today for sake of ease, because this is very easy. I wanted it to really be no fuss. Next, we're gonna add the cup of sour cream, the 2 teaspoons of paprika, and we're just gonna give that a good stir until well combined. All right, and now we're gonna add the 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and set that aside for just a moment. Let's go ahead and add our carrots to our 9x13 pan. So I'm just gonna add my carrots right at the bottom and spread them out. Typically, you don't have carrots in chicken cordon bleu, but this is more like chicken cordon bleu casserole. So it's kind of nice because everything can be in one dish and you just serve it over egg noodles. It's absolutely fabulous. And this is the sauce. You guys, just wait. My mouth is watering thinking about it. The other thing I wanted to mention is this is totally a freezer meal. So do everything we're gonna do before it goes into the oven, and then just get it into the freezer and use it for later. You have to fully defrost it before you cook it, but it cooks up like a dream. Okay, so that's done. Next, let's deal with our chicken here. So I'm gonna go ahead and salt and pepper this chicken. I don't think I mentioned salt and pepper in my ingredient list, but we'll make sure that's in the infographic so you remember to salt and pepper your chicken before you start your dredge. Now, here is the other thing that you can do. You don't have to do the dredging. You can just put your chicken in with some salt and pepper, and I would suggest a little bit more paprika, and then get it totally into your pan without the breading on it, making this totally and completely gluten-free. Or you can use gluten-free breadcrumbs and flour, and then it will be gluten-free that way. But we're gonna go ahead and do it just the normal way for right now, just so that you can see what it's gonna turn out like. So I'm just gonna go ahead and toss my chicken in my salt and pepper, and then I am going to go ahead and start my dredging. So here I have my flour. I'm gonna put in my teaspoon of paprika. I have my eggs, and I have my breadcrumbs. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my little whisk here and mix up the flour. And that looks great. And now I'm gonna come over to the eggs, and we're just gonna whip those up real quick. All right, and spread out our breadcrumbs. And now we're ready to dredge. Okay, so I'm gonna take my carrots, I'm gonna put them close by so I can kind of maybe prevent myself from making a huge mess. So what we're gonna do is we're just going to dredge our chicken in the flour. Oh, you know what? I'm doing this incorrectly. This is just gonna have to wait a second. I just read my own directions and we need to put the sauce on first. So we're just gonna hold still, hold there. All right, the next thing that you're gonna wanna do is get your sauce in an even layer over these carrots. All right, once it's all covered nicely, now we're going to go to the chicken. So once we flour it and then egg it and then get it in our breadcrumbs, we're going to lift it out and set it right on top. So we're gonna do that for all of these pieces. And if you are using chicken breast, just make sure that your chicken breasts are not huge pieces. They all need to be cut into smaller chunks so they all cook evenly. It's gonna take about 30 minutes in the oven. So if you have this huge chicken breast, it's not gonna cook very well in all of this. So just make sure it is cut in half this way so that you like butterfly it, and then even maybe cut them into strips like I have here. These are my chicken thighs that I've actually just cut right in half. That makes about the right size to be able to cook and be perfect in about 25-30 minutes. All right, and once all of your chicken is breaded, we are gonna top it with our cheese and ham slices. So we're gonna take our cheese and we're just going to sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle over everything. I like to reserve back just a little bit of the cheese because then after I sprinkle the ham, so now we're gonna go ahead and sprinkle the ham over the top. After I sprinkle the ham, I like to sprinkle the remaining cheese so it kind of, some of it's covered and some of it's uncovered. I don't know, it's just a preference. You don't have to do it like that. But this ham will turn into little bacon strips. It is so delicious. Okay, and now with that reserved Swiss, I just like to sprinkle it over the top. Now, I know the temptation to over cheese is real because I am an over cheeser, but don't over cheese this. Just use as much as the recipe calls for, which is about 1.25 cups, because you don't want it to be overly cheesy. It will inhibit the cook of the whole thing. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get this into that preheated oven for 25 to 35 minutes, depending on how thick your chicken is. Because I used chicken thighs and they're pretty thin, I'm banking that this will be done in about 25 minutes. We're gonna put it in completely uncovered. It's going to look beautiful when it comes out. And if you peek at it, don't worry if you see these little pieces of bacon kind of get a little bit charred looking. I said bacon, didn't I? Because it's gonna turn into bacon. It's ham, but you're gonna see it kind of turn into bacon. It's fantastic and it's delicious. So into the oven this is gonna go and back we'll be. All right, welcome back and check this out. Look at how beautiful that looks and see all the little crispy bits that I was talking about. You guys, you are gonna totally love this recipe. So the first thing we're gonna wanna do is get some noodles on our plate because this is a beautiful sauce. And of course, I'm using some great gluten-free noodles, even though this isn't gluten-free. I know it seems silly, but it is what it is. So here's my gluten-free noodles, and we're just going to get this served up. You ready to see this beautiful chicken cordon bleu? No fuss chicken cordon bleu. It's so fantastic. Oh yeah. And then we're gonna make sure that we get some sauce to go on our noodles. Look at that. I can smell the smokiness of that paprika. Oh, that makes me so happy. All right, and you guys, check it out. And if you have some fresh parsley, go ahead and give it a little bit of fresh parsley. I only have a little bit of dried, so we'll put a little bit of dried on there just for some color. And you guys, dinner is served. Look at how beautiful that is. And it was literally no fuss to do it. All right, let's bust into this. I love the smell of it. My stomach is growling. We're gonna cut right into the chicken and show you on the inside. Oh, it's beautiful. Nicely cooked. This is dark meat, so it looks a little pinkish, but it's not. It is definitely cooked through. I temped it. So just to keep that in mind, if you're looking at the close camera of me cutting into it and you're like, ooh, that's a little pink. Nope, it's dark meat. Okay, here we go. Oh my. Oh, no fuss chicken cordon bleu is so incredibly good. The smokiness of the smoked paprika and the cream sauce, there is nothing in the world like this recipe. And as you saw, it's truly no fuss. When the acid from the lemon really does just bring everything around. You know what might be nice to have in this recipe is a little bit of red pepper flakes. I've never thought about that before today, but it would be a very nice addition to this recipe. And the ham that is on the top that I said would turn into bacon, one of my favorite parts of this recipe, because like the best parts of the bacon all over the top of this. It is fantastic. This is one of the best weeknight meals that is truly a no fuss recipe. And it's freezer friendly. You gotta love that. Whoops. When I told my husband we were having this for dinner, he was like, ooh, it's been a while. Because he knows that this is a great recipe that makes your mouth water even while you're eating it. It is so delicious and something that you should definitely try. All right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna get dinner served up. And if you enjoyed that video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. I do videos several times a week, and I'm always looking for the next adventure. So if you got one for me, leave it in the comments below. I love to utilize leftovers. I love to cook in my air fryer right there. I love to cook in my oven. I love to adventure in all the places. So nothing is off limits. And I'm always looking for the next adventure. So if you got one for me, leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next adventure. Bye. I'm gonna take another bite before I make my husband's plate because it's so good.